If you drive down the Las Vegas Strip today, past the billion-dollar LED domes and the ultra-luxury towers trying to reinvent themselves every year, something unexpected happens when you reach the south end. You see a black glass pyramid, once mocked, once dismissed, once rumored to be on the chopping block, still shining, still standing, and despite everything happening in Las Vegas in 2025, the Luxor might quietly be one of the most important resorts in the entire city. Because in a strip where prices have exploded, where tourists feel squeezed, and where the middle class is being pushed out, Luxor has accidentally become something priceless. One of the last truly affordable, tourist-friendly casinos keeping the city alive. Luxor opened in 1993 during the golden age of themed mega resorts, when Vegas was proud to be outrageous. It had a pyramid, a massive beam of light shooting into space, an ancient Egypt fantasy interior, river rides, sphinxes, obelisks, and a casino floor that felt like stepping into a movie set. It wasn't trying to be sleek or corporate or minimalist. It was built to be fun, and that original identity still bleeds through today in ways that matter far more than people realize. Because while the rest of the strip is racing to modernize and chase ultra-high-end revenue, Luxor, even after multiple remodels, still feels approachable, still feels human, still feels like it's for everyone. That is the key to why the pyramid survives. Luxor never really abandoned the middle-class tourist. While room prices across the strip shot up into the $300 a night range, Luxor kept weekday rooms under $100 and even weekend rates within reach for travelers who just want to experience Vegas without going bankrupt. It's one of the last major resorts where a regular visitor can still walk in and feel like they belong. People who grew up visiting Vegas in the early 2000s return because Luxor still gives them the same feeling they remember, a blend of nostalgia, affordability, and excitement. It's not trying to be the Wynn, it's not trying to be the Bellagio, it's not competing in that world, and that's exactly why it succeeds. The affordability extends to the casino floor. While other properties raise table minimums to $25, $50, even $100 on weekends, Luxor still offers blackjack and craps at limits normal people can actually play. That matters more than casino executives want to admit. Vegas was built on the idea that anyone, not just the wealthy, could walk in, sit at a table, have a drink, and enjoy the night. Luxor is one of the last places where that original spirit is still alive. Guests aren't judged for playing small, they're not pushed aside for high rollers, they're welcomed because Luxor understands that the average gambler is the backbone of this city. Even the entertainment approach, reflects that same philosophy. Instead of chasing $500 luxury productions or once-in-a-lifetime headline residencies, Luxor leans into accessible shows, comedy, magic, Blue Man Group, attractions that are fun, memorable, and family-friendly. These are the types of shows that defined old Vegas, the ones tourists could actually afford to see without needing a payment plan. And while influencers and critics sometimes dismiss them as not high-end enough, they consistently sell because they speak to the majority of visitors who come to Vegas wanting an experience, not a financial burden. But the real surprise is how Luxor has navigated the corporate era. MGM Resorts has tightened spending across the strip, raised fees, and pushed properties toward a more premium business model. Yet Luxor remains the exception in their portfolio, a place that still feels unpolished in a way that guests actually appreciate. The pyramid shape, once considered a design flaw, has become a character trait people defend. The angled elevators, the inclinators, are an iconic quirk you can't find anywhere else. The atrium is still one of the largest in the world. The beam at the top, even if dimmer than before, still creates a visual identity no ultra-modern tower can replicate. In an era where casinos desperately search for branding, Luxor already has one of the strongest identities on the strip. And here's where the irony becomes impossible to ignore. The very things critics mocked for years, the theme, the aging structure, the weird layout, are now the reasons Luxor is relevant again. Tourists are tired of generic minimalism. Tired of paying luxury prices for resorts that all look the same? Tired of walking into properties where the energy feels cold and corporate? Luxor feels like Vegas. It feels like fun. It feels like a place where a group of friends can stay for a weekend, gamble a little, see a show, grab food, take photos, and not spend a month's rent in the process. And while other MGM properties face financial pressure, Luxor quietly fills rooms. The Pyramid may not be the newest building on the Strip, but it is consistently busy because it serves the audience that Vegas built its empire on. Regular people, families, young adults, budget travelers, first-timers, people who come to Vegas for joy, not status. When those tourists disappear, Vegas collapses. Luxor helps keep them here. The location also works in its favor. Positioned between Mandalay Bay and Excalibur, Luxor sits in a zone where room prices stay more grounded, where crowds skew more down to earth, and where events at Allegiant Stadium and T-Mobile Arena bring in tens of thousands of visitors looking for affordable places to stay. Whenever a major concert, fight, or sports event hits Vegas, Luxor becomes the lifeline for travelers who refuse to pay inflated surge rates elsewhere on the Strip. And there's something else no corporate spreadsheet can measure: emotional connection. Luxor is one of the last mega resorts that triggers real nostalgia. People remember when they rode the river inside, when the lobby had full pyramids and ancient ruins, when the Luxor sky beam was the brightest light on Earth. Even though much of that has been remodeled, guests still feel attached to the pyramid because it represents a Vegas that wasn't afraid to be bold and weird. A Vegas that didn't care what Wall Street thought. A Vegas that built attractions because they were cool, not because they optimized revenue per square foot. As prices rise across the city and tourists grow frustrated, Luxor is benefiting from something incredibly rare: goodwill. People root for this property. They want it to stay. They want it to survive the modernization wave. And the truth is, Vegas needs it more than anyone expected. Without affordable anchor resorts, the entire ecosystem collapses. Not everyone can stay at the Wynn. Not everyone wants to. Vegas requires diversity in price, in style, in experience. And right now, the Pyramid is carrying more of that weight than it probably ever imagined. Luxor may not be the flashiest casino in 2025. It may not be the richest, the newest, or the trendiest, but it's become something arguably more valuable. One of the last casinos that still makes Vegas accessible. One of the last properties that remembers who built this city. One of the last places where the average traveler feels welcome instead of squeezed. And as Vegas faces a critical moment in its evolution, with tourists questioning whether the city still deserves their money, Luxor stands as a reminder that not everything has to be expensive, not everything has to be corporate, not everything has to be modern. Sometimes all it takes to keep Las Vegas alive is a pyramid that refuses to change what made it special in the first place.